Welcome to Little Rock, Arkansas. Apparently this is where President Clinton is from. Who fucking cares? So I'm at the William J. Clinton Presidential Library. I've not walked across this whole bridge. I just went a little bit in and made it to make it look like I'd walked across it. It's pretty impressive. And look, there's some kind of river here. This is similar to the river that was next to my hotel in Austin, except this one's a bit calmer. So I have no idea what this river is. I'm not looking it up, it's too hot. I got a scooter here, a lime scooter, and I couldn't see my phone screen. The sun is directly above. I'm not going to say it's hot, because you fucking know it's hot. So this is a weird body of water. It seems to, there's a lot of branches to it. So here we are on this bridge that I don't know the name of. And here is some kind of river that I don't know the name of. And there's some kind of thing here. And there's more water. There's more water here. It's all very brown. Is it brown? It looks brown. First impressions of Arkansas. I don't know, it's different. People seem to be a bit less friendly here. I think some of the conversations I've overheard, I mean, yeah, eavesdropped on, because I'm a nosy bastard. People seem to be quite actively political here, which makes sense. There's a presidential library, so I mean, I don't know. So there you go, it just juts out. There's a little restaurant down here, I think. Doesn't look like it's open, which is great because I'm fucking starving. So they're supposed to have a replica of the Oval Office in here. A rotating replica of the Oval Office. I don't know why it has to rotate. Is that the Arkansas flag? Someone I met in Houston, who I won't name, told me that Texas was the only state that had its own flag. Now that's clearly a lie. This is what I got here on. They're pretty fun. They are good fun, but trying to use the app, this one's covered in shit. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the William J. Clinton Presidential Library. I wonder if it's going to be accurate and they're going to have like semen all over the couch in the Oval Office. Am I allowed to say that? I can say what I want, it's a free country, isn't it? Freedom of speech. So these blue folders, they contain every piece of correspondence, emails, letters, ever sent by Clinton. And then these, I didn't know this, but this is, all presidents have to keep a record of their daily schedule, like everything they do, every month. I'm not going to read everything here, because one, I can't be bothered. I am the president now. What we're going to do, let's bring back the hang-ins. Let's hang people publicly. Thank you for your time. So in all these glass cabinets there are letters written from various celebrities to President Clinton. And this one at the end really caught my eye. It's from the actor Dom DeLuise. He's put a little cartoon of himself on there. And if you don't know who Dom DeLuise is, he's quite a large man in the film Cannonball Run with Burt Reynolds. Cat pets. That's the best one. What's up, Sheriff? Look at this guy. Baldy. Mr. President, we have a situation. Looking at the Oval Office, it's looking at the furniture, it's kind of like stuff that your gran would pick. It's kind of like, I mean, I know it's old, but come on now. Hello. I'm in Kentucky. In a little city called Bowling Green. And right behind me is an old cinema. And I'm going to go and watch the new Superman movie. I thought, well, what better place to go and watch Superman than a small town in Kentucky. I've just come from Nashville, Tennessee. I didn't film one fucking thing there. I've never been anywhere that wild in my entire life. I'm having far too much of a good time. So much so that when I was in Arkansas, I was using those little electric scooters to get around. And they also have trolleys there, trolley tracks, and scooters do not mix because I turned the scooter into one of the trolley lines. I went straight over the handlebars. And you can see I did damage my hand there. And I was drunk, obviously. And this is where I'm going to see the new Superman movie. In the Great Escape movie theatre here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The old Capitol Cinema there, movie theatre. It's a very small town in Kentucky. And that's, what are those called? Quesadillas? No, that's Mexican food. I can't remember what makes that noise. It's not crickets, and it's not quesadillas. Anyway, this town in Kentucky, Bowling Green, this is where the film director, one of my favourite film directors, John Carpenter, was born and raised. But yeah, John Carpenter has made some of my favourite films. Of course, Halloween, The Fog, The Thing, They Live, Prince of Darkness. And I'm wondering if this movie theatre, Capitol, I wonder if this is where John Carpenter first saw the original The Thing, the thing from another planet. I think that's what it's called. And of course he remade it and remade it much better. I remember watching Halloween. I remember seeing it for the first time on TV late at night on BBC Two. And it was Halloween. The announcer said, and now John Carpenter's Halloween. And I remember it was very exciting. And I watched it and I was absolutely terrified. You can imagine Michael Myers walking down these streets, peeking out of bushes, because he's a creepy bastard. But he's usually just standing, staring. I can imagine him like stepping out from behind one of these trees here. I wish he would, because I can't fucking find anywhere to go for breakfast, and I would ask him. I'd be like, where do you go? Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do today. I'm either going to go to the Railroad Museum, which will have like old trains in it and stuff, or I can go to Lost River Cave, which it's just a cave, and they take you in a boat underground. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. Trains or caves? Although hobos have often been confused with bums or tramps, there is a significant difference between each one. The term hobo was originally applied to migratory workers in the South after the Civil War. So I'm not a tramp, all right? I am a drunk. I'm not a tramp or a bum. I'm a drunk hobo. Anyway, yeah, I'm in the Railway Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I'm just waiting on my guided tour of one of the train carriages. I'm the only person here, so it might be a bit awkward. Probably will be. There's me there. It's an old version of me. I've shaved my beard now and I don't have a hat. I can't wear hats, my head's too big and I can't read. So look at all the symbols here. Hobo communication. Cowards will give to get rid of you. Hold your tongue. Hobos arrested on sight. Worth robbing. Tramps here, because they're different from hobos. Afraid, danger, dangerous neighbourhood. What's the difference between these three? Just go. Get out fast? No, just go. Bad water. Good water. These are complicated. Camp here. Ooh.
I guess you kind of say it ran through the family. My father, he was a conductor on the Memphis line, and later on, he was yardmaster in the Bowling Green Yard.
So I'm sorry that it's so hot, but
Oh no, it's fine.
the electrician has not been here yet.
I like the heat.
You like the heat?
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, they really did. They didn't do it a whole lot, and the problem was the post office, the rules didn't state you couldn't mail a person. It was kind of implied, but it was not outright stated. So of course people were like, well, it doesn't say we can't do it, so we're gonna do it. And they mailed a baby. Usually it's like to grandma, and it would be just like the next town over or something, but it did happen. So this is our dining car. If you want to have a seat, you can. You don't have to. But this is circa 1948. As you can see, she's a little rough. She actually was used as a dining car, but was in a train accident. So she got pulled out of service, and then she went to Bardstown. They do actually have a dinner train there, so you can ride the train and eat. And so she did that for a while, and then now she lives with us.
Yeah.
So she is a little rough. You didn't get like a sandwich and chips. It was like a fine meal. Like you got steak and lobster and good stuff, you know? It was fine dining. Wherever you are at, if you were on like Pensacola, you might have fresh seafood, things like that. They would have delicacies from that area, and you could get breakfast, lunch, and dinner here. That mirror right there, that's where the steward would stand, and he was responsible for the adult beverages. However, especially in the South, a lot of places were dry counties, and you weren't allowed to serve alcohol. So he had to know where he was on a trip at any given time, because if he served alcohol when they were technically in a dry county, they could get in trouble. The cold kitchen is right through this door, and that's where they would plate your food. They would get your drinks ready, get your salad ready, anything that didn't require a lot of cooking. So if you look in here, you'll notice it has a wooden floor.
This is the hot one.
Yeah, this is the hot kitchen. The wooden floor was for spills. If you had hot grease, anything like that, it would go down through the slats. When you would get to the end of your trip, they would uncouple the car, pull up the slats on the floor, clean it out, and then put the slats back down. So it made it easier on your feet and legs, and you wouldn't slide around on grease or anything like that.
This must have been unbearably hot.
Oh, I'm sure it was, because if you look down there, there's an actual grill where you would have coals, where they would grill your steak or whatever. So yeah, it had to be very, very hot. I can't imagine. And then you're in here with 4 people all trying to work.
In the summer.
Yeah, in the summer.
No air conditioning.
So next we'll talk about sleeping on the train. So while you were eating your supper or dinner, whatever you want to call it, the porter would be in here, and he would be taking care of your sleeping. So here's the restroom. Take a good look at that. I'll ask you a couple questions.
There's a tiny sink. Oh wait. No.
So this was the men's restroom, and the women's is over here, but it's essentially the same. And then this would have been your third class, your economy. I don't know they really called it third class, but this would have been your cheap seats. If you were in the seat like me and facing the locomotive, so you're being pulled frontwards, you paid a little more for your seat. And if you're on that side, you would pay a little less. Why you paid a little more would be because you got the bottom bunk. So when this was pulled out and made into a bed, you got the bottom bed. If you were on that side, you had to sleep at the top bunk. So there was a little special key they would use and pull this down, and it makes a nice little bunk bed. Now, when you were looking at the bathroom, did you notice anything unusual about it?
It's got a seat in it.
It was for smokers. You weren't allowed to smoke in here,
but
you could smoke in an open air, observation lounge or whatever, or you could smoke in the bathroom. You'll notice there was a little tiny sink in there. Like there's a regular sink, and then there's a little tiny sink. And that tiny sink was for people with dentures. They complained that they didn't want to wash their dentures out in a public sink, and so they put a special sink in there. I'm like, it's still public sink. I don't know how that made it any better. And frankly, I think it would make it worse, because a little tiny sink, people are going to try to use that for something that they shouldn't use a sink for. Everyone had access to ice water. It ran through the whole car, so it was right here, and there was a little cup and a shoe locker. So you would put your shoes in here at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And shut the door, and then the porter would come on this side, take your shoes out, and he would shine them, and that was for men or women, and then he would put them back in here when he was done, and he would let you know. This is what they call roomettes, or second classes, a combination of first and third. You've got your own personal sink there, and you do have your own personal toilet. It's under that seat, so that seat's not going to be very comfortable if you're riding.
Right.
But still, you'd have to be traveling with someone you're very comfortable with.
Yeah.
Or be like, okay, go get a drink of water or something somewhere. I got to use the bathroom. So the last car we have is an executive car, or sometimes we call it the presidential car. This is where they would have their little meetings and discussions, because as a railroad executive, you would always have to be going up and down the rail lines and discussing with each town their freight options and pricing and timing and all of those different things. And that's where the secretary would sit. The secretary, of course, would be a man, because you couldn't have a man and a woman traveling together who weren't married. That was just scandalous.
All right.
And then this was the observation lounge. So this is where I picture them drinking whiskey and smoking cigars and reading the newspaper. And they also would lease this car out to politicians. Back in the day, they had what they called whistle stops, where the politicians would lease a car like this and literally go down a rail line and stop at every town.
Yeah.
He would get out right there, make a speech, the whole town would be there, vote for me, I'll lower your taxes, whatever, get back in, and the train would take him to the next station. He would go out, give another speech, and they were called whistle stops.